Hello, this is the chapter 2, and in this chapter, we will talk about the climate system. And this chapter is divided into three parts. The first part is composition of the Earth's atmosphere. The second is greenhouse effect and greenhouse gases. The third is natural and human-made factors affecting the climate change. So let's begin with 2.1. Well, the 2.1, the composition of the Earth atmosphere. So, the Earth atmosphere is a complex mixture of gases, and these gases plays a very important role to maintain the life and influence various environmental processes. We'll not go in detail, but we'll discuss in brief one by one. First of all, keep in your mind that there are six categories, but if you will see the three categories here, or we can take four. This is nitrogen 78%, oxygen 21%. So both of these gases are how much? 99%. Major major composition. And nitrogen is something which is inert gas. It does not react. There is no reaction, so it's very important to make the atmosphere stable. And this gas is very essential for the growth of living organism, as it plays a key role, uh, amino acids. It's a key element in amino acids and proteins. So this gas is important to grow the living organism. And the second is oxygen. All we know that all living uh, components of the environment depends on the oxygen for the cellular respiration. Not only this, the oxygen helps to form the ozone, and this ozone protect us from ultraviolet radiation here. Okay, so these two gases are 99%. The third one is 0.93%. Now, see, 99.93% are these three gases. And argon also is a inert gas. It does not chemically react with other substances under most conditions, and no significant benefit or harm to the life. Okay, but it contributes to the pressure and density of the atmosphere. Then we come to the carbon dioxide. Now this is 0.04%. If you will see the old books, you will find here the percentage 0.03%. So this increase is the major concern, because this gas is the gas, carbon dioxide gas, when incoming solar radiation reaches the earth and then again move back, the infrared energy, the emitted energy, is being trapped by the carbon dioxide. On the one hand, this is important also because it helps our atmosphere to get some temperature, which is around 15 degrees centigrade. It's because of this. But if the concentration of the carbon dioxide will increase, it will lead to the increment in the temperature. So this is the problem here. This is carbon dioxide. Okay, now there are some trace gases also, like water vapor, methane, nitrogen nitrous oxide, and then ozone. So all these trace gases plays different role in the processes of the natural processes of the atmosphere. And now there are the aerosols and different particulates. So these also plays important role. Why? Because aerosols uh, give some cooling effect. Okay, and if these aerosols are absorbing the energy, then it will give the warming effect. Okay, let's move on to the importance in climate studies. What is the importance? Like greenhouse gases, this is not only the carbon dioxide, but there are another gases also, like this is CH4 and N2O. These gases also uh, uh, for people study for greenhouse gases as a greenhouse gases. And now the atmospheric stability, like the stability provided by the gas nitrogen and argon, is essential for maintenance the livable environment on the earth. Okay, now we can think of the ozone layer, uh, how it plays an important role to protect us from the ultraviolet radiation, and what is uh, current situation. Then we'll come to human impacts, the human activities. All these are the importance, or we can say important themes in the climate studies. Now, if we uh, see this 2.2, that is the greenhouse effect and greenhouse gases. With this help, of the help of this figure, you can clearly understand that this is our sun here, and we are getting energy from the sun, that is incoming solar radiation, and the solar radiation has different wavelengths, right from like maybe gamma waves to the radio waves. So there are different wavelengths here. We are receiving the visible and infrared part here more. So there is a term used in the atmospheric stability, or we can say in atmosphere. That term is heat 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 budget. Okay, heat budget. This budget is here. What is heat budget? Heat budget is whatever incoming energy is reaches to the earth, the same energy moves back also. So the same amount of energy moves out of the atmosphere also. That is the heat budget. But what happens in the atmosphere when there are some gases? The gases which traps like this here, traps the heat. So if these gases are trapping the heat, that is the reason that we have a temperature in our atmosphere. The temperature is very important for livelihood, for the atmospheric, for living processes, I mean, for life processes. But if the amount will increase, the atmosphere will get more heat, and if we are getting more heat, then this will cause the climate change. So this is the greenhouse effect, we say, greenhouse effect. And Now let's move on. Here are some gases like carbon dioxide gas. How we are getting? What is the source? All we know, fossil fuels and deforestation, another human activities are the major source. Then methane, the agriculture and landfills. But on the other hand, you have to see like CO2 is a major, most significant, long-lived greenhouse gas. Long-lived means what? This gas is a long-lived. Once this gas is generated, it will long-lived greenhouse gas. On the other hand, methane does not have long life. I mean, has a shorter atmospheric lifetime. Okay. Nitrogen dioxide has also long atmospheric lifetime. And then water vapor, it also causes the warming because when water vapor will be more in the atmosphere and water vapor will trap the heat. Okay. Then there are another gases also which are produced in industrial processes, and these are the synthetic gases with high global warming potential but are present in very small quantities. So these are the greenhouse gases. Then climate change connection. How you will study the climate change with these gases? You have to see that how much greenhouse effect is there. Okay, human activities, how human activities are increasing more, and these activities have enhanced the Earth's average temperature. Then again, you have to see the feedback loops, like there is a multiplying effect. Like due to global warming, there is a melting of polar ice, then it will further accelerate to climate change. Then you have to see the regional variations. Of course, climate change, it will impact the atmosphere everywhere. But there are some ecosystems, there are some areas which will be affected more because of this climate change. Okay, so you have to see that which are the areas affected more due to the regional variations in the climate change. And now the implications on the research, we have to understand the regional impacts, very important, and then how to control or how to adopt uh, the climate change. I mean the impact of climate change. And then we will discuss this 2.3 here, natural and human-made factors affecting the climate change. There are anthropogenetic cause and natural influences. Natural influences, if you see the solar radiation, here this is the sun, and let me make this is the earth here. So the sun is not like that there is no change. No, there is a change also. The sun energy output is not constant. It varies over time. So this variation can influence the Earth's climate. Okay, but this is natural. It is out of our control. So this is one. And the second is volcanic activity. A volcanic eruption will release. large amount of aerosols and carbon dioxide, it will go for climate change. Okay. And then orbital changes. And this orbital changes, I mean, we know that this the rotation, Earth rotation, 24 hours, we know the revolution, that is 365 days. Again, there is a orbital change, that is, we can call it Milankovitch cycle, and this cycle is related to the Earth's orbit gradual change. So it takes thousand and thousand years, but because of this cycle, what happens? The ice ages are there. Okay, so that is something which is a long, very long term process. Then there are some oceanic processes also, like if this is, we can say the land area here, and this is the water area. So there are some currents which are, we can say, they are the cool currents here, and some currents are warm currents here. So this cool and warm currents also impact the climate or the atmospheric processes. Another is, like, if you will see that here, if I, this is Australia, and a phenomena takes place here, that is the El Nino. So that El Nino impact the whole global atmospheric system, or the rainfall pattern changes because of this impact, the shifting of low pressure from here to here. So when low pressure is here, the weather, the atmospheric system is something which is normal. But if this low pressure shifted to here in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, then what happens? The whole system, the atmospheric pattern changes, and it impacts the precipitation throughout the world. Now let's move on. There are human-made or anthropogenetic factors. Of course, greenhouse gases we have already discussed. Land use change. What is land use? There are two terms. One is land use and another is land class. Land use something, it shows that used, what, how you are using the land. This is something related to human. Land class is something related to nature. Land, how many classes? I mean the forest area, the non-forest area, the water area. This is something which is land class. And if you include land use also, the land use may be the agriculture area, maybe the urban area, the human settlements. So the land use and land cover, how the surface of the earth is being, you can class based on the type of the uh, the habitat or the type of the ecosystem, ecology, and land use, how you are using that land. When you are changing this land use, I mean, you are clearing the forest area and making it into the agriculture area, then naturally there will be a change in, because forest absorb what? Carbon dioxide. So if trees and forests are cleared, then the carbon dioxide will not be absorbed, and the concentration of the carbon dioxide will increase, and it will accelerate to greenhouse effect. And the industrial pollution and aerosols, when there is not only industrial pollution but also the construction activities are going on, that's why there will be more aerosols, and it will impact the weather condition. So aerosols can give the cooling effect, and the air quality will be affected because of this. Then we come to the waste management. the solid waste or liquid waste or some another waste, if it is not properly managed, then it will lead to some greenhouse gases, especially the methane emissions here. So if you see the understanding the interplay here, look at this synergy and counterbalance. Sometimes, you know what happens, the natural and anthropogenic factors, they can amplify or counterbalance each other. For instance, volcanic aerosols temporarily they cool the earth, okay, because of there are many aerosols, the incoming solar radiation will be not as much, and there will be temporary cooling, but you know, because of the emission of this carbon dioxide, it is the greenhouse gas, and it will lead to the greenhouse, I mean the global warming. Then the dominance of human influence. So the human influence, we have already discussed it on the climate change. So what is the relevance to research and policy? You have to see at the regional context. That is very important. You know, there are some areas where people are highly dependent on the water, their soil, their land. And due to climate change, if this is, I mean, the source of livelihood is changed, then it will impact not all, not few people, but the large and mass population will be affected because of the climate change. Then what should be there? There should be a policy development. Okay, there should, I mean, the complete knowledge must be there of the climate and the climate change and all the elements of climate which are making the climate. It all should be studied very well to predict the change uh, or to forecast the change. So this was all about the chapter 2, and now we'll move on for the next chapter. Thank you so much.